Hi, I'm Preethi.
And I'm Daniel.
And we run the family travel blog and Instagram Local Passport Family. We have 5 kids ranging from ages 1 to 10, and we've been RVing for almost a year.
And here's some pro tips for how you can help your kids get acquainted with RV life.
So a big part of how we got our kids acquainted to RV life during COVID is really being on the road. We didn't make an impulse decision, but it was a pretty quick process from when we started thinking about the RV to when we actually purchased it. I would say it was about 3 to 4 weeks to when we first started considering the idea to when we actually bought our RV and got on the road. So a lot of our learning really happened as we were on the road, kind of growing together and experiencing RV life together. So our kids actually taught us as much as we taught them in terms of what worked for schedules, bedding situations, getting out and about with the RV, and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, kids are like sponges, and so adapting to a new environment is life when you're young.
So our tip is don't be afraid to just start and try it out. I feel like I felt a lot of trepidation in terms of getting going. I'm a planner and I wanted to know everything beforehand. But really with RVing, there's no way to know everything until you've actually experienced it. The best way to learn it is just by doing it.
It's a lot easier than you're probably afraid it is.
So I felt like when we first left in the RV during that week when we were getting out to grandparents, we felt a lot of concern with, how often do we need to fill up water or how often do we need to dump? And we felt like we needed to be pretty conservative so we would never run out of water, But then we recognized that it lasts us longer than we realized that it would. So it felt like boondocking became a lot easier as we headed out on our adventure after. We were able to go for a few days and not really worry. We had the facilities and the supplies that we needed.
When you are planning a trip for the kids, you want to make sure that they have enough to keep them engaged and occupied while you're on the road. And certainly when you're making those stops, it's super easy to bring on some simple baseball equipment or the soccer ball or something they're ready to go. We were actually road schooling as well, so to make sure that they had their laptops with them and we had enough of a battery pack so that we could always be charging while they were on the road. And that made it really possible to stay connected kind of no matter where we were, to their classroom, also while we're headed to family. That made a big difference.
It's really important to keep in mind that while active learning is absolutely important and necessary and also very possible in an RV, we have connections, we have a booster that allows us to access a signal so they could stay connected and read books. We download books all the time. All of that is wonderful, but it's also really important to remember that so much education happens while we're out and about together. So while we do want to supplement with some specific learning like math and books and that kind of thing, I want my kids to be able to explore organically and learn organically as well.
You don't always need to know exactly where you're going to be the next day. You don't always need to know that you have this stop that needs to happen by this certain time.
We definitely had a number of places where we loved it so much, so we were able to just extend our stay by a few days. We could spend some more time exploring through the Junior Ranger books or getting out in nature and learning about the plants and animals in that area. And so that flexibility definitely contributes to the learning as far as we've experienced.
Every child is different, but if you learn what's important to your child, I think you'd realize they probably don't require as much stimulus as we probably are ready to give them as parents.
We're always well stocked with books. We have a mini suitcase of physical books that we always keep with us. But then we also have a Kindle device. Our kids have school Chromebooks and they're allowed to download books on theirs. So we use library apps to let them stay well stocked with books. And so they go through a lot of reading and they always can stay up to date with that. And they also have some easy building toys that they keep in their seats that allow them to build those tactile muscles and keep their imagination strong as well. So the tip is really to find what your child connects with, what is exciting to them and what motivates them. So if they want to be able to spend time climbing rocks on a hike, one of our children really loves to do that. If we get out early, if everyone helps and we can get out on time, we'll have more time to climb rocks. Or you can pick out the movie for movie night. You can decide what we're going to eat for dinner. Whatever your child loves, those are all ways to help encourage everyone to participate and make it a great experience for the whole family.
We hope you found some of these RV pro tips useful to help you and yours get out on the road.
Be sure to check out other RV pro tips from other RV influencers and take your RV knowledge to the next level.